Good boy. Okay. Don, it's your turn at bat, buddy. We're going to go over your little Fat Boy 6 pill that I just got done redoing for you this afternoon. Let me start out and say this isn't a currently designed Fat Boy. This is apparently one of the first ones they made within their first year and a half of being in business. And I know that from looking at a lot of these over the years. And I can tell by the way the transformers are set up, by their input capacitance, the way their output capacitance is set up, and the way the input splitter circuit and the output splitter circuit are set up. In today's current 6-pill design, they would have these moved over here back by the relay, and it'd forego you the impedance bump of going through the mini coax and then going through the splitter and vice versa. And it'd allow you to have the output tuning capacitance closer to your termination point, which increases your efficiency about 5%, somewhere near 4 to 5%, which means less heat, more watts, looks prettier on scope, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so the first thing I noticed was the input splitter had direct wires coming out, so it stayed at 100 ohms directly over to the inputs. And when I pulled this apart, all three of the wires coming out of the splitter circuit were all different lengths, and not by a little, but like half an inch and inch intervals. So we changed that. Your input tuning was broke off because, well, let's face it, that's a lot to have supported up there hanging out in a log truck. And your output tuning was broken off. And I started looking at your output combiner circuit, and buddy, that's cracked. That one's cracked, and the one right next to it's cracked. And I couldn't help but notice the arcing that was on this thing and how this piece of Teflon wire is burnt. So I ripped this piece of junk out, throw it out of the way. I built you a brand new one. I used silver coated, high strand count, Teflon jacketed wire, and I actually put matching resistors in line. I know. Who would think, right? Went ahead and retuned this circuit, and then instead of using the bare wire, because I also have bare wires coming off the outputs directly to the combiner circuit, I went ahead and I put matching lengths of mini coax into place. I redid all the solder work around the pills because it was horrid. I'm not going to even lie. This transistor right here was soldered down by this tab, and that tab. This tab wasn't even connected to the board. I don't think it's ever been soldered down. And this transformer was broke from the board. So that probably explained why if you're putting 100 watts into it, you're getting 120 watts out. It just wasn't working. But you lucked out. None of the pills are bad. And you're all fixed up. Pulled the relay apart and cleaned the contact points. No, the case was already hewed up like this when I got it. I think somebody sprayed some carb cleaner on the board to try and clean it up. And after that, I cleaned all the flux out with blue electronic wash as always. So, with that being said, of course I ripped all this gobbledygook out. It just looks bad. I mean, heck, that was on your output circuit. So I removed all that and replaced it with all matching 5-watt resistors all throughout the box. Looks right, is right, and now it's acting like it's right. So, this little bench 2-pill, I got it set up to put out 200 watts, which should be about accurate to run this, since you told me you were using a high drive radio, about 100 watts to push this sucker in the log truck. So I put the case on this, screw the tin ion on it real quick, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. We're running at 14.5. Got the 500 watt slug in reverse as always, and the 1000 watt slug in its place going forward. We're in 1X and PEP mode. And let's double verify. So here's the Fat Boy on by itself. Hold on, let me start over. Let me show what I'm putting into it for drive. Hello. Hello. About 20 watts worth of drive. Okay. Turn the Fat Boy on. Hello. Hello. We'll go up here to the Siltronics and I'll show you what your input match is. Hello. Hello. Took a lot of work to get that to settle down, but it did. So now let me demonstrate to you what we're going to max it out with drive. Hello. BBI. 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 Now that's swinging 200 into this fat boy. But watch what we get out of it for watts. BBI. Getting about 850 out of it. Pushing it with the 2-pill. But like I was saying, with just the radio, hello. Getting almost 4. It's staying above 14. Hello. Alright, so now Don uses this in his log truck, and he uses a 100-watt radio. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab my Magnum, throw it up on the bench. So I'll be right back. So I grabbed my Magnum 980. It's running straight out. It's coming into the 6-pill. It's back on the 1,000-watt slug. Hello. Hello. So that's with 100 watts worth of drive. Let's turn this on. Hello. BBI. So you're seeing 8. Swinging to 8. BBI. BBI. That's swinging 100 watts worth of drive into it. Well done. It came in here doing 100, and it's leaving here doing almost 1,000. And you'll see more out of it out of your log truck, because you'll be able to keep your voltage up at 14.5-ish instead of when you key it and then drop into 14. It'll work better for you. But you're all in top shape, brother. Hope you enjoy it. Bump bump, mud duck BBI. The watts don't lie.